Hi everyone, I'm Rich. Welcome back to BB's Customs, and today is the final part of refurbishing the tank. Okay, so in the last episode, we left it with its first coat of primer. There were a few little sort of like pinprick dents in the filler. I have since gone over all of that. I've taken it back, I've refilled it, smoothed it all out, and it's now got 3 coats of primer on here. Between each coat, a quick sand back with 1000 to 1200 grits, wet and dry, just to take off any high spots, with the aim being to keep the whole thing as smooth as possible whilst we're working on it. I have also, if I lift this up, painted the underneath. So this is now a nice satin black. The paint I use for this is a bog standard Hamerite satin black with anti-rust. I've got the can somewhere. There it is. So that's the can for that. I'll get you into focus. There we go. So that's what I use for that. I'll put a link for this in the description below. There's no real need to use expensive paints for the underneath of the tank. I think that was like £9 off of Amazon. It's a very hard wearing paint. It's meant for outdoor use. It's only underneath the tank, so it's perfect for this situation. What we're going to do today is put the final coats onto here. We're going to start off with a base colour. I'm not going to tell you what the colours are as we go along, but I will put the links for all the paints I use in the description, just in case you fancy having a go yourself. Yeah, I think that's it. Let's get painting. Okay, paint number 1. Okay, so as you can see, this paint is a metallic silver. It's still wet, so I can't touch. It's from Kustom Canz. It's part of a 2-can set. This is the base coat. There is another coat to go on top, so we'll see that in a sec. First off, I need to let this cure for 2 to 3 coats, blah blah blah. Leave between 10 to 15 minutes between coats, and then leave for 60 minutes before applying the clear coat on top. So I'll do another few coats off camera, and then when we come back I'll put the top coat on and you can see just what we had in mind for this. Okay, so it's now had maybe 4 coats of silver on here now. It's had about an hour to cure properly. Next step is the one I'm most nervous about. This is the one which is most likely to go wrong, which is to put the top spray on. And the top spray for this is a clear coat candy red. So what I'm aiming for is to have a red tank but have the little bit of glistening of silver shining through when the sun hits it. I'm going back to, a lot of you will be saying, why are you painting a red tank red? But the reason is I don't want to change the paperwork for the bike. Because if you change the colour of the bike, you've got to send off your DVLA and say, right, oh, this is now this colour, and I can't be bothered with that. So it's going back to red, but with a little twist, just to make it sort of stand out a bit. So I'm going to put this on. It's from the same company. In fact, it's actually, picking up one here. It's actually sold as a combination pack. If you buy it from their store on eBay, I think I got this from. We put the first coat on. You've got to put it on in light layers, otherwise it's just sort of, I don't know, it goes kind of cloudy, which is typical of a normal, like a clear lacquer, to be fair. I've used this stuff a couple of times before. It says shake for 2 minutes. Ignore that. If you use this, you want to shake it for a good like 5 to 10 minutes. The more you shake it, the better spray you get. It must be something to do with the colouring inside of the lacquer, because if you just shake it for the 2 minutes, it comes out and it spits and it splatters and you get these horrible lumps in your workpiece, and we don't want that. We want to get it on and we want it to be nice and smooth and looking lovely. So we'll have a go. Okay guys, a lot of time has passed since I started this video. Since the last cutscene, it's been so long, my hair's all gone, my beard's had a trim and everything. It's been the best part of a week till I've been able to pick this back up again, because we had lovely weather for it, the painting time was perfect, and then we had a lot of heat and a lot of rain, followed by more heat and more rain. And what we ended up with was a very humid, sticky sort of air atmosphere around the whole of Gloucestershire, really. But what that means is you can't really do any sort of like clear coat based painting, because what happens is it sucks the moisture out of the air and you end up getting cloudy paint. But that's all gone now. We should have a few days of nice weather so I can finish this off. You saw in the last cutscene that I was using this. I didn't like how this was looking, so I scrapped that off, and I have replaced it with this, which is fundamentally the same thing but from a different company. I am so impressed with this. They are the custom paint company by the Complete Cafe Racer. I will put a link to this down in the description below. I cannot recommend this enough. The way it sprays, the way it coats is just brilliant. It's exactly what I was after. So let's show you how the tank looks now. Okay, here she is. She is looking lovely. Nice solid colour. You can just see the details of the silver underneath. It's a really nice, sort of like a satin finish, which is just what I want. It's exactly the right sort of finish I need to do the next stage in this. Put that back. Stay there, please don't fall off. So the next stage is to get it prepared for putting the decals on, which I can show you very shortly. If you bear with me, I'll get that now. Okay, so oh, I better drop that. Right. So this is one of the decals I've bought. It is a genuine Honda part. There we go. Traditional wing, nice Honda text. If you're interested, I'll get you to focus on there. There we go, that's the part number. So I'll also put a link where I got these on in the description below. I got these from eBay, they're not very expensive. Being genuine Honda means that when I put them on, they are perfectly fine to put clear coat over the top, which is my intention. Because it protects these, it stops them coming off. It also makes it look like a bit more of a professional job as well. So we're going to put these on. I've also got something else to put onto the back of the tank as well, which I shall show you later on. But first off, let's get these on. Right, so back in the shed, we're ready to prepare the surface of this to accept the decals I showed you earlier. Yet another wardrobe change. It is another new day. This week has been crazy of actually trying to get things done. So what I'm going to do is I have a bowl of water just tucked down here. I have some 1200 grits wet and dry. I am going to go over this entire thing. Just lightly enough, we're going to just graze the surface. Even though it's a very nice finish. I mean, it's got a slight texture on it, but you get that on all paint jobs really, because you're building it up with layers. I didn't sand back the silver because it would have taken the glitter out of it. So that's just given it, it looks like a very mild case of like typical orange peel finish, but it's not. It's just, you can't even feel it really, it just looks like it. But once we get this over it, it'll all become very clear. We'll do it in a time lapse, so you're not sat here for ages. I'll get this done, we'll dry it off, stickers on, and then move on to my little secret bit to go on there. Okay, so it's all sanded back, it is lovely and smooth. You can't really see much of a difference unless you're really up close. You can see it's gone sort of matte in some areas. If you look closely, when the water was flowing over it, you would have had a little sneak peek as to what the final finish of this is going to look like once the clear coat's on. But before we get to that, we shall pop this back on the bike to make sure that it's sat where it needs to be for when we put the decals on, because obviously if you put them on off the bike, they might not look quite right when they're sat on there and it's on its wheels as it should be. So we'll get this back onto that and then put some stickers on it. Right, so I've got the first decal. This I think should sit around there. I think that's probably a good space for it. Yeah, I think somewhere around there. So what I'm going to do is first off make sure my hands are very dry, make sure this is nice and clean, and then we are going to put this one on. I'm going to take some measurements to figure out where this is, and then we shall repeat the same on the other side. Okay, so got the decals on the side. I am now doing the little bit extra I want to put on. I think this is going to be a running theme for all the bikes I make, so I'm going to put this on and then just let you watch it in the video for a bit. So I shall talk to you later. Well, that was a disaster. Yeah, I really wish I didn't do that. What's happened is the masking tape went on fine. I cut all the numbers and letters out fine. But when I sprayed, it looks like, well, I know what it is. I picked up the wrong can. I picked up the base coat colour, which has the same solvent as the candy, the clear on the top. So what's happened is the solvent has softened the candy, bled through, so now instead of having like nice silver letters, which are nice and neat, I have sort of pinky silver letters, which have bled and have feathered edges, and it looks terrible. So I'm not sure what I'm going to do with that. I really don't want to take it all back off. I am going to let this just do whatever it is it's going to do, and come back to it tomorrow and see if I can just take back this bit on the top, re-clear coat it, mask the decals off, re-clear it, and just leave it. What I should have done, I think, was use an acrylic instead of a solvent based. The acrylic would have just brushed on top. I even had some. Where has it gone? I brought it in from the house because I thought I'd give that a go. Put it down somewhere. I don't know. Oh, there. I even had some gold instead of silver because I thought gold would look good on red. I really should have gone with that. But such is life. We try these things. Sometimes they work, sometimes they don't. And unfortunately, this is one that didn't. So, yeah, going to end this one on a bit of a downer. It was all going so well. Should have known something was going to go wrong. It was going too well. So, yeah, unfortunately, that's it for this episode. Next episode will be fixing this. Sorry for the letdown. I feel a bit let down myself, to be fair. Yeah, thanks for the continued support. I'm sorry this video's taken so long to come out and it's got a dud end. That's a bit naff, really. But, you know, we'll chalk it up as a life lesson. Thanks very much for your continued support. I may have even just said that. My mind's gone mental. Yeah, don't forget to like and subscribe if you enjoy what you're seeing. If you've got any tips or hints on this, please put them in the box below. I am more than happy to learn from you guys. I am not a painter. As you can see, I make mistakes. This one may turn out to be a costly mistake in both time and money, because worst comes to worst, it's right back to stage one, strip it all off, do it again. Which I really don't want to do, but I might have to. It depends how well the resurrection of that goes. So yeah, I'll catch you next time. Cheers.